Hi, Sean. How are you?
I'm great, Rachel. How you doing?
I'm doing great. To start, when I talked to Lizzie earlier, I said one of my favorite things about the relationship between Polarity and Emma in this season is they're both grieving and they're both grieving in different ways, but they don't necessarily know how to communicate with one another about it. For
hmm
you as an actor, how exciting is it to get to unpack that with another actor and explore where those characters kind of are in those scenes?
Yeah, I think that that's just all in the writing, you know.
Mm.
It's really it's always a gift when a writer gives two characters opposing energies and opposing forces, you know, and writes them and makes them play them very strongly, you know. Especially in that first scene that I have with Lizzie in the first episode, you know, she very strongly needs me to turn this grief into some type of action. She needs that
Mhm.
from me very, very strongly. And what I need very strongly is for her to get the hell away from me because I'm done with this. I'm done with this world. I have nothing else to live for, and I have no purpose uh, in my life anymore. And
Mhm.
he's very stuck in that. And so it was really brilliant writing to have those two forces bump up against each other and see what could come out of that.
Yeah, and like you obviously you got to have emotional and good scenes in the first season, but this season I feel like you really have a chance to shine as Polarity and we get to see a different side of him through his kind of it's kind of forced vulnerability, but he
Mhm.
gets to be a little bit more open about it when you get scripts like that and you get the writing and it is, more for you to take on, does that make it daunting for you as an actor who, in season one, you're like, yeah, I come in, I do a couple scenes, I leave? Or is that exciting because you get to kind of show everyone what you're capable of?
You always want to do more. At least I do. I always feel like the more you give me to do, the better I am because more is required of you. And so you just dig deeper when more is required of you. And so when I see a lot of stuff handed to me on a plate, I'm not daunted at all. As a matter of fact, I'm invigorated by it.
Mm,
Um, in this particular case, even more so because I felt so much responsibility to make sure that Chance was not forgotten. I felt so
mhm.
much responsibility to make sure that we honor Chance in the most spectacular way that we could. And so everything that I got to do, everything that I got to say, just felt to me like another opportunity to honor Chance, to be honest with you. And I was very grateful for it.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask too, because like I know this is a different situation, but what I kind of love about a lot of superhero stuff is you can find stories of grief within them, and it helps an audience if they're grieving to figure out which quote unquote heroes that they're looking towards grieve in a similar way to them, and it is kind of a bonding experience with the property and an audience.
hmm
What for you? What do you think it is about these kinds of stories and these kinds of characters that make that such a rich playground for audiences to connect with and like engage with the characters who are going through these things?
hmm Well, I think what Gen V does is these characters, especially the adults, are so self-absorbed and so
Mm,
selfish, and so all they're doing is using these kids. They're not trying to raise them or advise them or guide them. They're using them,
mm,
and I think when you think about the mistakes that you've made in your life, any of us, uh, you want to feel like there's a way to redeem yourself. And I know there's everybody, you know, feels like, gosh, I wish I could have done that better. Gosh, I wish I could have been a better brother. I wish I could have been a better son, a better daughter. Everybody wishes they could have done better a lot of the time. And I think that's what people connect to with I think with Polarity's particular type of grief is that there's so much regret.
mm, mm.
And I think that in the audience, if you can connect with that sense of regret, that's something that really uh, can resonate with the audience. And I think in this particular case, that's what it is.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And for last quick thing, I just wanted to ask you, 'cause I asked Lizzie and we realized as I asked it, that she has no scenes with any of the people from the boys. And so then we were like laughing and trying to figure out who she would actually get to work with.
Uh,
But so I wanted to ask you, if you, we know that Polarity has a lot of ties still to Bot. He says as much in the first episode.
hmm.
But for you, if you got to see him go toe to toe with somebody that was like a big kind of honcho at fought or in the boys, who do you want to see him actually kind of square off against?
Stan Edgar.
Mm,
Absolutely. I think Polarity and Stan Edgar would be a titanic confrontation. Absolutely. I would love to see that.
I would too. I think it would rule. But thank you so much. I love this season a lot. I can't wait for everyone else to get to see the rest of the season. And thank you for talking with me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Good talking to
Have
you, Rachel.
a great one.
Oh my God, you have green eyes?
I do, yes.
Oh my, hello. Sorry, I'm just like, hello.
They're my big green eyes.
Guys,
Well, to
beautiful.
start, thank you so much. I appreciate it. To start, I wanted to ask you, I really like that Emma this season is basically trying to just like keep the gang together for a lot of it. Like
Thank
she
you,
is like,
babe.
let's come, guys, come here. I know we're at odds, but we got to keep the gang together. When you get those scripts and you like, she's still going through her own struggles with herself and her powers.
Yeah.
How much fun is it for you as an actor to get to like pivot her a little to be able to do stuff like that and then go back to her other issues whenever you guys need to?
I mean, also thank you for just like shouting out that Emma's trying to wrangle the Scooby Gang. Like, especially in episode 4, where she's just like, why are we bringing in Kate? Like, are you guys losing your minds? Like, I feel like I'm part of the audience, which is so much fun to play. Like, my favorite line the writer says is like, Papalou's bitch. Like, that is just chef's kiss. Oh my God, sorry, so I got sidetracked. But yeah, it's like really, really fun, as I think Emma herself is such a complex character. Like she gives me such a container as an artist to be messy, but also play into like the buddy comedy, like with her and Polarity, and be high as a kite, but also deal with still the her insecurities and her self-worth. But at the end of the day, this season compared to last season was she's stopped asking herself the question, who is she? Who am I? And started asking herself, what can I be for others? And I think that's what a true leader is, right? Is like overcoming yourself, overcoming your insecurities, and trying to be the girl Andre saw in her. And you're still always going to be triggered, but it's like integration is messy, you know?
Yeah.
Trying to be who
Yeah.
you want to be, and also pulling you back to like your struggles. It's healing isn't linear. I don't know what that was.
It's a nice little song.
Yeah.
Really
Thank you
isn't
so
linear.
much. Now I am a singer.
One, your last name is Broadway, so it checks out.
I'm gonna like go.
Wheel
My
out.
for singing. Thank you so much.
Well, I wanted to ask you, I love the evolution of her powers because, like, obviously, like, you can like write a million think pieces on Emma and her powers, especially like season 1, where it was she had to shrink by basically having an eating disorder. She got bigger by the opposite. And in this season, it is also now like her own mental state playing into that.
I'm not laughing at it, but it's just more of like she still hates herself to get
But
small.
it's more, it's not physical as much, but more mental.
Mental. And that goes with the Polarity, where she's like, I still hate myself. High five. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I think that's the reality of the situation, is like healing again is not linear. It's like, okay, we go here, but we go here and then we take a few steps back. Like, sorry, I did not mean to interrupt.
Well, no, because I was gonna ask, because what I like is that it feels like for girls who like hide behind their humor, like I often am like, oh, I'm fine, and then it's humor, but I'm really in my head like, oh, I shouldn't have said that. Why did I do this? Kind of thing. With her, I feel like it's a similar thing where she does all
Yeah.
these things and puts up fronts because she doesn't want anyone to actually see what is going on in Emma's head. But
Yeah.
how do you as an actor kind of contend with bringing that to life on screen where it is a character who's not necessarily using her words to describe what's going on, but you still have to sell that to the audience?
That's such a good question. Look at me, I'm just like staring off in space. I'm like, how did I do? Like, by the grace of God, I would say, to be honest, like you prep so much as an artist. And this season, it's very different for Emma season 1. Like her humor came a lot from her insecurity, right?
Mhm.
And this timer humor, the way the writers wrote her, I had to make sure that her physicality and her behavioral and the way she spoke brought that levity. So it's just really you know what? At the end of the day, you just have to play the truth. And that's, I think, how I balance between the masks Emma wears. I wish I could like talk about my process, but it really is just playing the truth and all the woo-woo actory stuff you do. Yeah.
Yeah. One, how is it too, like all the different dynamics and playing them also separate from each other with each character? Because I know it's like everyone has like their own relationships with people, and that's kind of what it is with
Yeah.
acting. But it is really fun to kind of see, Emma more with Jordan at certain points in the season because that's just where they were versus
Yeah.
when they find Marie and like seeing all the dynamic shifts. But
Mhm.
how is that for you? Like, are you like, oh, I get to hang out with so and so today on the call sheet? Like, that's really exciting. And like, what is it like for you on the back
Yeah.
end of that?
No, but first as an artist, it's really fun because the really relationships is where you sense most of who a character is, of how they
Mhm.
speak. Like how Emma would speak to Polarity is different how she would speak to Jordan. Like Jordan would you see more of Emma's sibling-esque little banter, and then with
Mhm.
Kate you see Emma being a hard ass, I would say, and then Polarity you see a sense of her wanting to be loved and being able to take down the mask of having to keep the ship together, right?
Mhm.
But there's many days where I'm on set and I'm just like, God, I get to work with Sean Patrick, and he's amazing. And a lot of my scenes with him were supposed to be with Chance. So that's
Mhm.
really, really special. And any of the time with the girls are really great. I wish we had more scenes with Jordan. I love the good banter between Emma and Jordan. I wish we had more of that this season. Yeah.
What's great, and I was gonna ask about the Sean Patrick scenes because I do love that they are both grieving in completely different ways.
Yeah.
And like I know like throughout the season, like it's always that thing where like when someone's crying, you like as an audience, it's both engaging and you kind of like separate yourself because like what the situation actually was. But it really hits home with those scenes between Emma and his oh my god, my word stopped.
No, I'm
The scenes between you
Polarity.
guys. Thank you. Polarity. I was like, what word
No,
am
girl,
I
I was just like, what's his name?
Polarity. I really love the scenes between Emma and Polarity because you understand both of their grief from their each of their perspectives. Did you and John Patrick ever have conversations about where those characters were within those scenes, or was it more internalized because those characters were also going through it so separate?
Yeah, honestly, no. And I think this is what the beauty of it is. Sean Patrick is so great at what he does as Polarity. And then what I bring as to Emma, it organically happens.
Mm,
I really think, like, we never really talked about it, but I think they heal each other through, like, Emma really never had a mom
mhm,
or like someone as like an adult. She even says in episode 2, she's like, I'm so glad we have an adult around, right? And then also Emma's kind of like the daughter he never had, and the shared bond between the loss of, like people say grief is just love that has nowhere to go. So they're
mhm.
grief together, like their bond, their love, they have a love bond now between their grief. If that makes any
Yeah.
sense. I tried to like
No,
explain it with my hands or my claws.
like
You see what I'm saying?
no, 100%. And I do love that a lot of superhero, even though I know Gen V and The Boys is like kind of the antithesis of like our normal superhero stuff, but a
Mm.
lot of it is all set around grief and
Yeah,
like how like these heroes have to contend with like grief that they can't really unpack like a normal human. And I
mm,
like how their show kind of does that. For a last quick thing, I want to ask, you guys came back for season 2. We've already kind of seen Starlight in here, and The Boys continues to be mixed in with Gen V in a very fun way. How is it for you guys on set when you're like, okay, well, now we got so and so coming from The Boys? Like, we got to see what they're like in their energy because it is such a quick either like cameo or you only have those one scenes with.
right. I would love to answer that, except Emma's not cool enough to have a scene with
That
anyone.
is true. She's not.
She's so I you know what? I need to call Eric Kripke and be like, what happened?
Why is
Dude,
Emma just never in those scenes?
like I'm just, like, is he trying to say something about to me? No, no. Now I'm like thinking, I may text and be like, hey, so just crazy thought. Why is Emma always left? You know what? That's so in character, babe. She's so left. She's the girl behind the couch with the boys.
Yeah.
Oh God, that made me sad.
I literally was
Right.
thinking, I was like, wait, hold on, I'm asking this now. I'm like, I don't think that I'm
No, because I was like, but the thing is, as an artist, I'm like, but man, why am I not in those scenes? Sad.
Okay, well then adjust it. Who do you hope that Emma does get to meet?
Okay. I have a lot to say now since we just I just love Jack Quaid. Jack Huey and Emma, come on. But if you're talking about a soup, God, I think oh God, please don't hate Chase. Is it Chase? Chase. I should know the Deep.
Oh,
I
yes.
should know his
Chance
name.
Crawford.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
Chase
I
Crawford.
was like, what's his name? He's a comedic genius, and I don't know if he gets enough credit.
I agree.
Like, can you imagine like the Deep and Emma just having a conversation? How would that look?
She would be judging him
Judging him, but just like quipping, like, I don't know, or maybe just like sitting silently while he just like talks. And like,
her head going like this back and forth.
hi, are you real? You're still real. You should disappear. I don't know. Are you like looking at everyone like this person's alive? I don't know. Yeah.
That'd
Now
be
I'm
great.
like
I would need her
asking
to know
myself,
about
who would I be with?
she would
Who
need
should Emma be with? You tell me.
I either like her with the Deep or like A-Train, because I feel like she would put A-Train in his place real
A-Train.
fast.
Oh, A-Train.
He would not get away with anything.
Oh no. My God, you should become a writer. Come on board. Come on board. I'm taking notes on my pen that I have a pen. I'm writing this down. A-Train. And who did we say? Deep.
Deep.
My boss is gonna love me so much.
There's free ideas.
Here's some ideas.
Well, I love the second season so much. I can't wait for everyone else to continue to watch it. And thank you for talking with me today. I really
Rachel, thank you
appreciate
so much. You're a gem.
it. Thank you. Have a great one.
Bye.